Good morning and good afternoon, I'm sorry, and welcome to the Wavy Digital Desk. We're here today with Virginia Beach Fire Department to talk about the department, recruitment, and training. So we have here with us, we have Dustin Lyle, training instructor, and Deputy Chief Amy Valdez with us. So we're excited to have them with us. If you do have questions, please put them in the chat. We're going to be talking about things you need to know if you are interested in becoming a part of the department in some fashion. So Amy, can we start with you? Can you just introduce yourself, tell us your role for people who might not know?
Sure. My name is Amy Valdez. I am the Deputy Chief in Virginia Beach Fire Department. Right now, I work with all of our human resources, and we do all of our recruitment and hiring. I have a bunch of other tasks as well, but for this conversation, we're really excited to share some of our recruitment efforts and look for our next generation of firefighters.
Absolutely. And Dustin?
Yes, Dustin Lyle. I'm one of the two training captains that oversees all the academies for the city of Virginia Beach. We have a big class that's starting this upcoming Thursday with 52 new hires. But yes, along with myself and our in partnership with our wellness coordinator, kind of created a pre-hire prep program that I think is going to be one of the focuses that we discussed today as well.
Absolutely. And just to start, it's a big department. It covers a lot of land in Virginia Beach, a lot of different environments in terms of different areas of the beach, different areas in the neighborhoods, some city aspects. Can you just talk about, how you all manage and cover that area? How many people are in your department? What sorts of offices are in your department?
Yeah, sure. We have over 550 uniform employees and growing. The city of Virginia Beach is very diverse. The north half of the community is densely populated, very urban, suburban. But then the south side of our city is beautiful, rural farmland. And so there's all different types of environments and type of living, and therefore that creates different types of firefighting and different types of response that we need. So we have the Guinness Book World Records largest contiguous beach in the world. So we have a lot of water rescue. We have our hazmat team, our technical rescue team, the FEMA team, rescue swimmers. So there's a lot of things going on in the fire department so that we are prepared to serve our citizens for any emergency that they have, whether it be medical, actually a fire, or some sort of technical or specialty response.
Right. And then on your website, too, you highlight the fact that you are, a power locally, regionally in the state, and also on the East Coast or in the country with your work with the task force, especially sort of broadening that reach of your department as well.
Yeah, we are one of only 28 urban search and rescue teams that sponsored Virginia Task Force 2 out of Virginia Beach, and we're the host agency for that. So that does get us a lot of national visibility. But when we're recruiting for fire departments, we're looking across the nation, across the world for the next generation to come and build on the past that we have here in Virginia Beach. And we love having our local community come in and serve in the community where they grew up as well. So I would say we're relatively well known across the fire service as one of the premier metro fire departments in the world.
And, in your tenure, you have covered, different roles throughout your department. And can you just talk a little bit about your start?
That's one of the things that we're trying to change here. We're trying to make sure that people recognize the value and how rewarding it is to be in the fire department and how rewarding it is to serve your community and to help others. I feel blessed that I just happened upon someone who suggested the fire service to me. But I came in with no experience and no knowledge of what the training was going to be like, what the physical aspects were like, and what the opportunities were. So I had to learn all that on the fly, and this program and our recruitment efforts today are much more developed and advanced, and we've matured to the point where if you have an interest in the fire service, we have an interest in you, and we're gonna help make you prepared and ready for the physical, emotional, mental, and I guess the academic challenges that sit in front of you, but it's all worth it. So we're really excited about what we're doing today.
Absolutely. And then, Dustin, can you talk about, the training program? That is something that you focus on with the fire department. How do you even get involved, or how does that begin?
Sure. So I think that the focus for today that I want to highlight is this new program that we've introduced. It's called It doesn't have a real interesting name, pre-hire prep. And what it was again, myself and Aaron McKissick, who's the public safety wellness coordinator for our city, we kind of collaborated and came together and we were like, how do we make a better experience both for the department and also the recruit? There's many different intentions for this program. We want to make people aware of what the rigors of the job are. So we just want to expose people. We want to expose them to, again, how exciting and how team-based and how rewarding the job can be. But to have that understanding that there is a physical preparedness that you have to do for this job. That coupled with it's just a holistic approach, your mental wellness and those sort of things, and a very casual perspective, understanding that yes, men, women, doesn't matter your background, doesn't matter what skill sets you bring, we are gonna leverage the experiences on our instructional staff and train you to the best of our ability to be an effective firefighter EMT. But what is the job? And that's what we want this program to be. So it's a focus on that physical well-being, but also let's learn some skills so that hopefully if you are lucky enough to join our department, Chesapeake, Norfolk, we have definitely the 7 cities, surrounding cities are also have successful departments. But if you have a desire to join the public service sector, what are you getting into and kind of how can we make you successful in that career?
Do you think that opportunity sort of allows people who might otherwise be, I don't know, nervous to sort of see about the department or maybe unsure of the opportunity, it allows them to reach out and to maybe find out more and maybe be a little bit more inclined?
100%. I think that let's be honest, I think most recruits come with some sort of level of apprehension, whether they have an awareness of what the physical side is, but they really have no idea, whether it's putting on a mask, being in a confined space, that team-based concepts, how do I work in a high stress environment? Maybe that's something that they've never really introduced their mind to before. So I believe that that's one of the intentions of this is let's reduce some of that apprehension so that, again, if you are successful, if you start on day one and you've already collaborated and created that team-based concept with other people that you went through this program, you already have a familiar face. So that's one apprehension out the door. I don't have to work on this communication side because I already have a friendly face that we've already created this relationship, and maybe we can bounce ideas and stressors off of. Aaron and I sat down and we're like, what are the number one reasons why we see recruits end up resigning from the academy, and how can we harness our experiences and kind of reduce those apprehensions? Let's get them in a mask. Let's get them in a dark space and in a tight space. Let's people that are smaller in stature. Maybe you have apprehension to raise a 24 or 28-foot extension ladder, and let me show you some body mechanics that it's not one way to skin a cat kind of thing, that in the fire service there's multiple ways, and let me evaluate how we can make you successful, and let's start stripping away those apprehensions from day one.
Right, and you talk about, making the candidates more successful, but you, I'm sure, also want them to succeed. So here's an opportunity to sort of, as you said, give them those foundational skills or connections that can sort of lead to their success.
Yes, I would be naive to not highlight the fact that our department, all the neighboring departments, the fire industry world or probably nationwide has a shortfall of openings right now, so we're struggling to get people in, and I don't know why. I think that's what Chief Valdez and other senior leadership in our state and throughout the country is trying to evaluate how they can bring those people into our career. But yeah, obviously we want to make them successful because, again, we have 52 people that are starting on Thursday. How can we graduate 52? Everyone knows that it's just not going to happen. Our attrition rate within the academy setting is typically about the 20-25%. So as you can see that we already anticipate losing some, but our intention from day one is to graduate 52 people. what can we do from a departmental perspective to kind of make that happen. And that's what the intent of the program is for.
Right.
There's a lot of, I mean, I could speak to the finances, the amount of money that's already, that we've already spent to bring in these 52 folks into our department. There's all these different variables that, from a departmental and a city and just managing resources appropriately, we want to graduate 52 people, but how do we do that?
Right. And then I'm sure, at least from a outsider perspective, there have been a lot of very notable or newsworthy events this summer, whether it's fires in Virginia Beach, whether it's the task force missions, recently. There's a lot of coverage and a lot of areas that you all need hands for. I mean, right now we say that there's a shortage, but are you all facing a shortage that's so drastic for overtime and all of that happening?
Yes, I would say, and COVID was really a struggle for emergency services across the country. I think a lot of people, the stress and the risk that first responders were taking took a toll, and it made it, we couldn't hire during that time frame either. So I think a lot of departments are struggling trying to catch up, and most of our employees are working mandatory overtime right now to cover the vacancies, because we have to have people on the street to serve the citizens. So we can't just say, okay, you get a day off. Somebody's got to be there for you to respond to the incidents. And like Captain Lyle said, to go through our hiring process, it's a long process. It's a difficult process. And we invest a significant amount of time and effort and money into everybody that we give a job offer to. So we want them to be successful. Our turnout gear, it's $5,000 just for the pants and the coat. That doesn't count your helmet or anything like that. So, and it's custom fit for that employee. So when you get through our hiring process and we offer you a job, we are excited about you coming to work with us, and we're excited about that investment. And we hate when we see somebody find out on week 2 that, ooh, this isn't what I thought it was. So our goal is to really give them that education about, hey, this is what it's going to be, and that way the right people are saying, I'm going to apply. And again, there's a lot of people that you talked about the news coverage, and you see people doing some amazing things on some of the news coverage, and sometimes people, that's intimidating, like Captain Lyle said, and they're nervous to come apply. We get to do some pretty intense things, but the teamwork, the camaraderie, the training, that's more what being a firefighter is like day to day. And yes, when the big event happens, we're there and we respond. But I think it's not the totality of what our profession is and what we do.
Right, and then I guess that's full circle then going back to what the training program is great for, is breaking down maybe some of those stereotypes or some of those ideals and sort of getting you into what the day-to-day is actually like. Yeah.
We clean the station and wash the trucks and make dinner and train, and there's a lot more than just what you see on TV, and it's both, and we like responding to calls and we like helping people, but there's a lot more to the job. So we're looking for those people who bring different skill sets and different experiences, because they just make our response better.
Right. And then, in terms of logistics, for people watching, for people hearing about, openings, what's the best way for them to get involved? Is that a phone call to find out more? Is that going online? And we can give them some of the specifics later as well. But just in general, what's the best first step for some of these people?
Yeah, so I would direct people to our website first. There's a lot of great information on the website. And then we have on that website, there's also our recruitment email, which is Hire VBFD. We are planning to open applications at the end of the year, probably last couple of weeks of December, first couple of weeks of January. And we had less applicants in our last process than we've had in previous years. And we would really love to see that increase in people who, are out there and they're maybe doing a job that isn't what their heart tells them they should be doing. Those are the people we want to come and go through our process, and the pre-hire will help you identify if it's the right move for you. And we're excited to start another academy. I'm sure Captain Lyle he'll be exhausted from these academies, but we'll probably be hiring again in the spring.
And I did want to highlight as well, the standards have not changed, even though recruitment, might not be as successful right now, correct? So, and you don't want it to change, really. No. And so, I think that's important if you all just want to highlight that obviously you want them to be fully equipped, fully ready to take on whatever it is.
Yeah, and there is a candidate physical aptitude or physical abilities test that all of our applicants go through, but we really try and stress to them that is an introductory test to give them the experience of some of the body mechanics and movements that are required on the fire ground. But that test is not really indicative of what fighting a fire feels like physically. So yes, the test is a good test and it's a good vetting tool, but we also want to make sure that they're preparing physically and they're ready to come. And no, fire doesn't change. So actually firefighting has become more challenging in the last couple of decades as materials and building construction changes. So the challenges are different. So no, we don't change the standard. Our goal is to keep the standard high, but to find ways to better prepare people to meet that standard.
Yeah, if my training staff was here listening and watching, their ears kind of perked up when you said standards. Yes, I believe that anyone in our profession, every firefighter and EMT that has a passion for this career, yes, they never want those standards to drop. And from chief privates on down, I believe that everyone in our department believes in those standards. Let me discuss a little bit about the pre-hire prep program. So I discussed with those folks on day one, hey, you're going to get a casual Dustin Lyle. I'm not putting my captain hat on. Things change. If you're lucky enough to start with our academy, you'll see a different personality from me on day one because there is a paramilitary style to our academies because there's a discipline and a respect and a personality that the men and women of our great city demand from us, and they're all founded on those standards. So yes, we're going in this pre-hire prep program. I want to introduce you to the SCBA. I want to introduce you to hose streams, to ladders, to dragging victims, to doing a search, so that you can kind of have a holistic approach to the job. But those standards don't change. If we're at the grocery store and a 6-year-old kid wants to come and watch and touch the truck, we're going to take the time out of our day because the standards are that we have a set of core values, and I'm going to apply my principles to those core values. So yeah, regardless of what society tells us, our standards will never change in the fire department.
And I think, it's really important to note because I think someone listening might, perhaps cynically, but say, well, there are people that probably are qualified, right? But I think it speaks to, the level of the organization, obviously, that those standards haven't wavered. So.
Yeah. Well, and again, we talked about this on the way here. If you have a heart and a passion for this job, we have a heart and a passion to teach you to be successful. And if you come in and put in the work, you will graduate from our academy. We'll get you there. We'll do everything we can. That training staff puts in 120% of their heart and soul to make sure that those recruits are successful, but we can't do it for you. You got to be committed. So I think that's what we're looking for. We're looking for people who are excited about serving their community, and we're public servants. We put the citizen and the visitors and the tourists and everybody who's in our community in front of ourselves every day, and those are our core values, and we're going to stand behind that. But yes, there's plenty of qualified people out there, and if they show up, we will train you and we'll get you ready, and we'd love to have you on the team.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much for stopping by today. Is there anything else that you'd like to highlight or that we missed sort of going into recruitment and training season for you all?
Yeah, I would just encourage anyone who has an interest in the job, swing past the fire station. Chief Valdez highlighted the fact that you go out to the website, just swing by the fire station. Those men and women are excited to share that information, and I was lucky enough to be on the interview panel this go around, and you definitely saw the people that invested their time and spent time in trying to learn the fire department and just going to have those mock interviews. Get connected to a fire station. They will invest time into you, and just going through mock questions and just again learning what you're getting into. That's a big thing. I think might get on the soapbox for a second. I believe that we found ourselves in a society that we just get handed whatever we want. And that's just not the case. We need people that are passionate, that are going to put forth the work to get out of life what they want to. And again, we'll pour into you as much as we can, but we kind of need you to meet us in the middle. So yeah, go past the fire station. They will spend some time with you and get you prepared. And I hope to see you on day one of an academy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much again. And if anyone who's watching, there's going to be a follow-up on wavy.com with information that will point you to the website, to these resources so that you can get connected if you'd like. So thank you both so much again, and thank you for watching.